Hey, this is Dr. Dwain Woode, and welcome back to day number 109 of the Bridge to Mastery mini-series that we've been doing. You've done 109 days. You've shown up each time. We've built the inner coach. We've built structure. We've talked about self-efficacy. And today, we're talking about mastery. What does mastery really mean? I'm glad that you're here to join me because you are continuing to put your steps forward. You're continuing to put new pieces to the puzzle. You're continuing to build as we move from consistency to competence and from our wanting to actually being. This new person that we've created, this new version of ourselves that we've built, that's what we're doing. And let's go ahead, let's get started. I'll see you on the walk. So you've been here now, wow, 109 days. You've shown up despite discomfort. You've shown up despite weather. You've shown up despite fatigue sometimes. And you continue to create those pieces of evidence, those pieces of data that says that you are a person who actually now does this. You finish what you started, or you finish what you start. You are consistent, you are thoughtful, you are mindful, and you are someone that can be trusted. You can trust yourself. And that's what we've been talking about with mastery. Remember, mastery, or self-efficacy, let's start there. Self-efficacy is the belief, right? The evidence-based belief that my behavior, my actions, my decisions, and my consistency are able to change the course of my life and the course of things that happen to me so that I can be successful. That I have a direct hand in affecting how things work for me and affecting my life. And that is what our working definition has been. And as we move through this bridge, remember we finished our 100 days about 9 days ago. And we've been on this quest now to live in this person that we've created. On this quest to solidify the things that we've learned, this quest to really understand what it really means, or what it means to have become this new person. And so today we're talking about mastery and what mastery really means and where do we go from where we are right now. So let's rethink mastery for a minute. When most of us hear mastery, we think completion, we think end of the journey, we think we've arrived, we think all sorts of ideas, and that's what our community, that's what the society has said, that this is the final level, this is it. One of the things that I love to do is, and I think I've mentioned, is watch some of these old martial art movies. And one of the great things that I see in those is that often there is a pupil that comes and they're on a quest for something, right? Something has happened and they've decided that this is the journey that they want to be on. And you can even think of, well, I won't go into one of these modern movies, but, and so what happens is that they find someone, you know, they're on this quest, they're on this search, and they find what's called a master. And then they sit at the master's feet and they learn what the master has. And then at some point, the master says, okay, you're done. And that's always like an exciting time for me. But I remember watching a movie once and seeing that same idea. You know, the person comes, they become a pupil of the master, and the master teaches and teaches and teaches and teaches. And the pupil now is wondering, well, when is this going to be over? Basically, when can I get out of here? When can I leave this dojo or this monastery or this wherever it was that they were being trained? And I love what the master said. The master said that your journey is only now beginning. So you've learned all that I can teach you, but that doesn't mean the journey is over. And so mastery, sometimes we think of it as this final thing. But what if that's not true? What if it's not true that mastery is the end? What if it's true that mastery is the beginning of who you are? What if mastery is just that I've got this stuff right here, I've just put in place the structure that keeps me going and keeps me successful? What if mastery simply means that this is the jumping off point? This is the readiness. So I'm ready for what's next. I've achieved this level. It's kind of like in the video games, right? So you can't get certain things in the video games, particularly those games. If you know video games, you know you got to get this level before you get that level, right? Because now you don't just do the habits, but you are embodying the habits. And those habits now have set you up in a space to be able to receive, to be able to see, to be able to experience, to be able to appreciate. I had one of our community members send me a message, and we had a conversation. And one of the points that they were making was that as they've walked through some of the videos, they've seen revelations and they've had lots of growth. But the point that the community member was making was that prior to a month ago, 6 months ago, 3 months ago, they couldn't have heard this. They could not have been in the space that they are now without walking through the journey. And for you, there are some things that are coming up in your life. I don't know what it is, but there are some things that you're about to step into in your experience. There are some things that are going to come at you, and you could not hear, perceive, handle, navigate, maneuver because of where you were. But now, because you have mastered consistency, because you now understand self-efficacy, because now you understand your responsibility not only to yourself but to the community around you. Now, when that thing comes, now you're able to appreciate it and you're able to step into it with confidence and with an eye for being successful. That's what mastery is. It is the beginning of who you truly are. I'm waiting for these cars to move around me. So as we talk about mastery, right, the journey so far has been incredible. So day 1, we were exploring consistency. Day 20, you were learning about rhythm, alignment, structure. Day 50, you started trusting the process. Day 80, you saw how identity had changed. 100, you became someone new. So you've mastered that process. You've been consistent, you've been showing up, you've been putting one brick on top of another brick, on top of another brick, one puzzle piece. You've looked at it, you turned around, you found where it fit. You've put the structure that you need to keep that version of yourselves going. You have implemented a daily routine, bookending. In the morning you do something, in the evening you do something. You become consistent with your journaling. So now that you've mastered, you're ready for life to move. You're ready for the world, as it were. You have come to the point where, like the birds take the chicks, right? They're in the nest and they drop them out because now they know, hey, it's time. And you have been on this path and you've been walking, you've been rowing, you've been lifting, you've been growing, you've been journaling, you've been thinking, you've been processing. And what if mastery simply means I'm ready? Not that I've arrived, Not even that I'm an expert, but I'm ready now. I have confidence in who I am and what I'm doing. And in this bonus journey that we have, the Bridge to Mastery, this bonus has been to prepare you and to let you know that you are efficacious. That's self-efficacy. Oh. Yeah, this I love this. I love these concepts. So every place that you are, every place that you find yourself, remember that place is not just for that thing that you think you're there for. You thought we were simply learning about self-efficacy, but what it was really was to help you to understand that you're there. Help you to understand that you have reached the consistency that you need. That in yourself, within you right now, is the potential for unlimited power, unlimited vision, unlimited growth, unlimited success. And you can trust yourself because you now have evidence. You're efficacious. Come on. So as we've walked through mastery, as we've walked through this mini series, in this bonus journey, you've built self-efficacy, not in theory, but in practice. Because hey, look at this, you did it. So not only did you do the 100 days, but now you did the extra days. Oh, when you didn't think at the time you could do the 1 day, but you've done it, and you have been successful at it. So this mini series, this series that we're on, it's you being ready. It's you being ready to be used. You being ready to be challenged. We're going to be talking about some interesting concepts coming up in our upcoming series. And one of the very first concepts that we'll talk about is tension, controlled tension. So keep an eye out for that. We'll talk more about that as we go on. But you are now ready. You're ready to embrace it. You're ready to embrace challenges. You're ready to look life in the eye and say, come on, bring it. I'm not afraid of you anymore. I may not understand why, but I'm not asking why anymore. I'm asking how. So not why did this happen, but how do I get through it? Not why didn't that work, but why, but what and how what do I need to do and how do I get past this? Not why I can't go through this way, but how do I go through another way? Come on, right? So that's what we're doing. That's what mastery has done. That's what mastery has taught us, and that's the posture that we find ourselves in. When we talked about putting, or how you show up, how you walk, how you move, the posture that you put in, the posture that you show, this posture right here is different. We're going to be talking about form. We're going to be talking about posture. We're going to be talking about correct ways of doing things. All of that's coming up. But now you're ready to hear that. You may not have been ready before, but now that you've mastered it, now you are there. And it's not necessarily only for you to use it, but it's for you to share it. Okay. So mastery. So mastery means I'm ready, right? So not that I've arrived, but mastery means I'm ready. Mastery also means that I am far enough along that I can now turn back and mentor somebody else. And you've seen me with my Limitless Living hat. If you've been on the show, you see me with my Limitless Living t-shirt. You see me with Limitless Living mug. You see Limitless Living on my wall. So you now get to say to somebody else, hey, I want to help you walk down a path called Limitless Living. I want to help you begin to learn so that you too can become a master. You too can begin moving in a space that is different from what you're used to. And remember the masters I talk about, those martial arts or whatever the masters are, because they can be masters of lots of different things. Those masters, they are there and they are willing to teach. They're willing to help grow. And you now have moved into that position as a master. And so you thought mastery was all just about you, but it's about the entire community. When the community is better, then as a master, well, not just as a master, when the community is better, we're all better. So your mastery, right? So your mastery is not just all about you. So what is mastery really, right? So it's not about being perfect. I'm pausing because I want that to sink in. It's not about being perfect, but mastery is rooted, right? It's being created, it's being deepened, it's being strengthened when the storm hits. And mastery is being rooted when the storm hits. So it's not that I'm perfect, but when the storm comes, okay, I have the ability now to process, to understand, and I can move. I can do what I need to do in the storm. One of the concepts that I teach in the office, and when I have students who are coming through, when they first show up, they will go see a patient and they'll come to tell me about the patient. And they'll tell me a part of the story and they'll stop. And I'll say, continue. And they'll tell me another part of the story and they'll stop. And I have to tell them, until you put a period at the end of what you're saying, I'm not going to say anything. And they were like, well, I want to know if I'm saying the right thing. It doesn't matter if you say the right thing. What matters is that you understand your thought process. What matters is that you go through the process of creating a cohesive thought about this patient. What matters is that you attempt to come up with a diagnosis. What matters is that you attempt to come up with a treatment. Because when you do that, when you own it, yeah, mastery begins. Mastery starts not when you have the answer, but mastery is being able to not have the answer, not have a clue, and still do what needs to be done. And that's mastery. So when there's doubt, when the storm comes, when things don't go well, when things don't work out, when the relationship is not going the way it should be going, when you have not saved money, when the stock market changes, when those things happen, mastery says, I'm rooted. Come bring it on. I may not know that, but I know me. I may not know that situation, but I can figure it out. So come on with it. So when the storm hits. So returning faster when you fail is another sign of mastery. And we talked about resilience and course correcting and resetting. People who are masters, that's what they do because they have self-efficacy. So, and this one, let me see. And I go back to my medical students a lot because I tell you, they teach me a lot. And they help me actually sometimes solidify my beliefs by talking to them. So medical students a lot of times have not figured out what they want. They've not gotten that far yet. They are trying to decide between a specialty. OB, internal medicine, psychiatry, and all the specialty, whatever it is. And in their thinking, this is a huge deal because they believe that if they make the wrong choice, that their life is over. Oh, this one here is good. This one's good. I see college students with the same thing. I see people trying to make other decisions the same thing. And I think what everyone doesn't understand is that your decision, the choice that you make, is important. But the choice you make really doesn't matter. Oh. Come on, help me with this one. Help me with this one. The decision you make is important. Whether to live in Chicago or New York or Miami, it's important because it has consequences. it has ramifications in, economy and the type of job you're going to get and, crime. It's important. But ultimately, it doesn't matter. Because if you go to Chicago and you don't like Chicago, you can go and move to Miami. If you go to Miami and you don't like Miami, you can move to New York. If you go to New York and you don't like New York, it doesn't matter because you can now move to Charlotte or any number of places. But we perseverate on the decision. We perseverate on the choice that we're about to make. And mastery says that I'm going to put everything possible to help me make the best possible choice. I'm going to research it. I'm going to weigh it. I'm going to think about my likes and my dislikes. And once I've done that, I make a choice. And the choice is the choice. And if the choice doesn't work, I'm confident in me. Whoa, 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 come on. I'm confident that I've built this person that is competent, that is consistent, and that is trustworthy. Now, as we go through the domains of health, you've heard me talk about the spiritual connection, right? And there is a huge component in the spiritual connection for a lot of people. And I want you to understand that so we've been given brains, we've been taught how to think and work. And I believe that there are times when we misuse the thought process. We misuse the abilities that we have. And we claim that we are waiting. We claim that we're just biding our time. We claim that we are processing, when in actuality, we already have the capacity, we already have the tools that we need to make the decision. So the decision that we make is important, but ultimately it doesn't matter because we are what we're taking with us. So put me in any situation and I'm gonna thrive. Put me in any space and I'm coming out. Put me in any place that is restrictive, constrictive, that doesn't have all the right resources, that doesn't have all the right opportunities, I'm still going to be successful because it's not about the place. It's not about the thing. It's not about the decision. It's not about the choice. It's about me. It's about the position that I put myself in. And when I'm a master, come on with it. So mastery is not about that decision. It's about the fact that it's me. That's who's with me. So leading yourself, allowing yourself to use the tools that you've developed and not second guessing yourself. There's so many parallels to my medical students. When I was studying for my boards, I took a course from a very, very smart fella. And I think I've mentioned him several different places. But one of the things that he taught us was that as we've trained, we've learned a lot of data, a lot of material. And he says, when someone asks us a question, 75% of the time, we know the answer. And we talk ourselves out of the answer. So someone asks us a question, and what would we say? We say, I know it's not. Well, a lot of times that is the answer, but we talk ourselves out of it. And so mastery says that I'm not going to second guess myself. Mastery says, I'm ready for what you're bringing at me. And so I'm going to use all my tools, make a decision, and then I'm going with it. We are masters when we can lead ourselves before we lead other people. Don't tell me, show me. Oh, this one hit home. So I mentioned that one of my mantras is my body is my advertisement. My body is my advertisement. So lead myself before I lead you. So I tell people, I've been talking to people for years about exercising, and I say you don't have to like go to the gym, you don't have to buy equipment, you don't have to get a membership, just walk. And I've been walking for a long time with my wife, but people never saw me walking. And guess what they see me doing now? Yeah. So when they come into the office, there I am, up on the screen. I'm not just talking the talk, I'm literally walking the walk. So lead me. Don't tell me. Don't preach to me. Lead me, show me. Right? That show me state. Show me what you're doing. So they come in up on the screen, and I'll say to them, oh man, you should walk. I say, well, I guess I don't have an option now. I guess I don't have an excuse because I see you out there walking. Right? People say, hey, I see the weight that you've lost. I got to do that. Right? Sometimes I don't even say anything to them often. But people catch more than the words that we give them. So we lead ourselves, people who are masters, lead ourselves before we try to lead other people. It's about building a system of beliefs and owning that system of beliefs and having that system of beliefs be the guiding principles on which we live, on which we move. Limitless living is a set of guided principles. It is the basis for your unlimited potential. It says that nothing outside of me or nothing inside of me is going to prevent me from doing what I need to do. That is the rhythm of my life. That is the posture that I've taken. That is the bent of all that I do, that I am constantly trying to improve areas of my life all the time. I'll tell you, that was not always the case, because I was comfortable where I was. There were things I didn't want to address. There were things I didn't want to look at. There were conversations I didn't want to have. And there are some conversations I have to have coming up. Because remember, it's not that everything is perfect. There's still some things, some conversations that in my head, I'm like, man, that's going to be a tough one. But guess what? I still have to do it. But mastery says that I'm addressing all of that. It's about a system of beliefs. It's not based on hype. It's not based on fluff. It's not based on me wanting to make you feel better. In fact, there are times when what I say is not going to make you feel better. There are times when you say something that's not going to make people feel better, but it has to be said. Now, we say it in the best way we can. So I've walked this road. Patient came in yesterday, today, anyway, new patient to us. And so we're going through some stuff and talking, and it was an interesting conversation, let me say that. And so I'm at my desk, and one of my team members comes and said, the patient said, basically, when they found out that I was diabetic, all the things that I said, they said, okay, I can do that. Yeah? So once again, that wasn't about me. It was about the connection. It was about that person feeling like this wasn't just fluff. So I'm not trying to fluff you up. If you're looking for fluff, not the place. If you're looking for real talk, come on. We got that. We can do that. We can step into that, and we move through it together. And here's the beautiful thing about mastery. Mastery is not about putting other people out there. It's about being out there yourself and saying to them, come to me. Come on. So, see, I'm stepping into the spiritual part, right? So it's about me being out here and saying, okay, I got here. Now come on. Let me guide you down the path. Let me show you where the pitfalls are. And for myself, saying that I'm there, I'm in that space, and I'm confident that I can navigate. Oh, come on, there's a whole thing right there. So I've walked this road. I know what I'm doing, and I know what I'm capable of. That's the power, and that's the power of mastery. That's the space of mastery that we're in. That's what we have created. And you want to make sure that as you move into this space, that you continue to understand that it's not about being perfect, but it's about where we are. So here are some questions I want you to think about as we continue. Some questions I want you to think about. So number one, what proof do you have right now that you've mastered something in the last 109 days? What proof? I'm not going to tell you, but should I tell you? Should I tell you? Should I say it? 109 days. Right? 109 days. But you've mastered other things. You've mastered journaling. You've mastered resilience. You've mastered organization. You've mastered daily routines. You've mastered being mindful. You've mastered being resistant. You've mastered being self-confident. Come on, what is it? What's one thing that you've mastered over the last 100 days? What do you do now that used to feel? What do you do now that used to feel like a struggle that now seems like it's, okay, I got this? Yeah, what's the thing? Now I'll tell you, when I first did my video, I did my very first video about a little over 4 years ago, 5 years, almost 5 years. And I remember hitting that record button, and it was a struggle. But now, if you look at my YouTube channel, I've uploaded 1,700, a little over that now, 1,700 videos. 1,700 videos, 1,700 videos. And now I walk into the studio, I hit the button, and I'm going. Let's do it. Here, and you guys have seen, we've had some technical issues, we've had wind, we've had whatever it is, but I'm hitting the button and let's do it. So mastery. In what area of your life are you now ready to lead yourself differently? Ooh. Oh. So rubber hits the road. It's not about theory. It's about, okay, what do we do now? Where are we going to apply it? What area in your life now are you ready to say, come on, I've been avoiding you, but bring it. I've been ignoring you, but let's do it. I have been afraid of you, but come on. I'm stepping up. My chest is out, my head is up, my shoulders are square. Bring it. There's a quote, and I think it's from Roosevelt, and it's called "The Man in the Ring." And essentially what he says is that don't show me the people that are outside the ring, the ones that are yelling at the people in the ring. Don't show me the people who are criticizing. Don't show me the people that are talking about how it could be, how it should have been done. But show me the guy that's in the ring, because at least if he's in the ring, he may not succeed in the ring, but at least he's in the ring. But at least he tried, but at least he worked at it, right? So as we're talking about this space that we find ourselves in, what area in your life now are you going to attempt? It might hit you down, but like that punching bag, you come back up. You may get knocked down, but you don't stay down. But you're ready now. What area of life is that? And what's something you can teach somebody else from your experience? Remember, we're always looking for how we can impact the community around us. So mastery is responsibility. Mastery is not always about you. Mastery says that I'm competent in where I am. I was talking to my medical student the other day, and I was explaining to her one of my concepts, and I want you to hear this concept. And we talked about it a little bit. We introduced it a little bit, but I want to expound on it a bit here. When you are comfortable in your space, you can allow other people to play in that space, allow them to make mistakes in that space without you having to be an authoritarian person. So with my medical students, there are lots of ways that you can treat patients for a particular disease. There are lots of thought processes that go into how you get to a particular conclusion. And because sometimes we're insecure, because we want it done a certain way, because that brings us comfort, because we want our children to behave a certain way, because we want them to do something a certain way, because that is comfortable for us, we don't allow them to expand their brain, their mind, their thinking, their thought process. So when I deal with my medical students, I tell them, I'm not talking, I'm not asking any questions, you can't ask me any questions until you have completed your presentation, until you have come up with a differential diagnosis, possible reasons for why this patient is having what they are, and until you've come up with a plan. When you've done that, I'm comfortable enough in my ability to treat the patient that I can allow you to say and do what you want to do. And then I come back and say, okay, I like this part, we're going to take that, we're going to use this, but this one, yeah, I don't think that's what we're going to do because of my mastery. So it doesn't have to be just like that. It doesn't have to be just the way you say it's going to be. When you're a master, you get the opportunity to allow growth. You get the opportunity to allow expansion, not necessarily in yourself, but in the people around you. And by allowing them to expand, you also become richer. You also get a deeper understanding of the very thing that you said that you're a master over. So mastery is responsibility. Once you have mastered it, it's no longer about getting better. Come on. Once you've mastered it, it's no longer about getting better. It's about building better things. So no longer about getting better. It's about building better things. So I've got this. I mastered this. Now, how do we build something better with this? How do we improve this? How do we grow this? What else can we use this skill to do? That's how we grow. That's how we expand. That's how we get better. You're not just showing up, you're influencing other people. Because like I said, people are watching. People are watching. So when they watch you, do they get a good feeling about what you do? Do they get a good feeling about you? Limitless living works. Limitless living works. When people see me, I want them to know that limitless living works. When people hear me, I want them to take away that limitless living works. When people see you, I want them to take away from what you do, how you move, how you live, that hey, there's something different. There's something different. And when they ask you what's different, you get to share what's different, what you've done, how you've done it. You're not just practicing the habits. You're not just practicing your habits. You're anchoring, or you have anchored your identity there. We're not practicing. This is where I am. This is who I am. This is what I've built. So mastery, mastery, mastery. And now the question becomes, what will you do? What will you do with the power that you've gained? With great power comes great responsibility. What are you going to do? You just going to hide it? You just going to keep it to yourself? Or are you sharing this with those people around you? Are you influencing the people around you? One reason I love having medical students in my office, because I get to influence them. I get to influence the next generation of physicians, me. When they think about endocrinology, they think about endocrinology the way I think about it. When they do endocrinology, they use my processes, right? They think back to me. Now they may expand, they may grow, they may come up with their own version of the thing, but guess what? The basis is right here. Great responsibility. And I take that very, very seriously as we move through with our medical students. This is a shift from participant to practitioner. Yep. This is a move from effort to embodiment. This is a move from habits to legacy. Because everything you do will create a legacy. Everything you do is a loop. Remember, we're always building a loop. Negative loop or that positive loop, the self-efficacy loop. So how do we live beyond the finish line? What now? What now? What now? So we keep the loop alive. So mastery still needs reinforcement. It still needs renewal. It still needs realignment. It still needs to be adjusted. Your journal, your I can journal, the things that you do, your start of the day, the end of the day, your routines, all of that is with the idea of keeping the loop going. Mentor somebody. When you teach, you've got to be looking. You've got to be evaluating. You have to be growing because you're teaching, right? You can't teach in isolation. You can't teach without continuing to grow. And so when you mentor somebody, yeah, that's what you're doing. Raise the stakes. Don't just keep doing what you've been doing. Go further. Go beyond that. You'll see some of that in our series coming up, strength, strategy, and mindset. As we move through what we're going to be doing, what we're going to be seeing is that if I want to expand, if I want to grow, I've got to add some more stuff to what I do. Yeah? And then stay humble. Stay humble. Don't be arrogant. Because as good as you are, as good as I am, there's somebody else that is better. I think Michael Jordan once, in an interview, I don't know if he said it or somebody made a comment that his brother actually is a better ball player than he is. Michael Jordan, come on, okay, let's not argue, right? Everybody's talking about somebody, like Jordan, Pippen, LeBron, Kobe, right? Magic, Kareem, Bird. Okay, I'm not even gonna go down there. But you get the idea, right? So somebody's better. So stay humble, but stay hungry. Always be looking around to say, what else is here? What can I do? Stay hungry. Stay humble. This conversation I can have all the time. And I think we may do a mini series. We may do a course on this one. We've got a course coming out, by the way, on self-efficacy and the inner coach. But this is one I think is worth spending some time looking at and doing. But let's go ahead and let's do our challenge for today, because we can't ever get away without doing that, right? So grab your journal and let's go ahead and let's write. So choose one way to live like a leader today. Choose one way to live like a leader that is within your wheelhouse, that is something that you have grown with over the last 109 days, that you say to yourself now, okay, this I got. Live in that reality. Walk like that reality. Talk like that reality. Show up like that person. And then use that to teach somebody, bring them along, mentor them, and say this out loud: I didn't finish, I just became ready. I didn't arrive, I've leveled up. And this mastery isn't just about my beginning. It's about me being ready for what's coming. And so the bridge to mastery, y'all, is about getting us ready. It's about the stuff that we've learned that now says, okay, what's coming next? And in our next series, strength, strategy, and mindset, we're going to be working to move, right? So movement is the operative word. So we've been walking. Now we're going to be doing some strength training, some stretching. I want you to join me as we move into the next phase of our limitless living, because we are expanding, we're growing, we're changing, and there has to be a constant mindset that I'm taking care of my body, I'm taking care of my mind, and I'm doing all the things I need to do to be successful. So I look forward to seeing you in our next series, which really is a continuation of our mastery. It is what's new, what's different, what do I build now that I've gotten this. Thank you for joining me for the 100-Day Walk to Consistency in Health. Thank you for joining me for this mini-series, The Bridge to Mastery. Join me as we move into this next series, Strength, Strategy, and Mindset. Hey, this is Dr. Dwain Woode, and as we approach the end of our 100-Day Walk to Consistency in Health, I want to pause and invite you to look ahead, because what we've built together is just the beginning of an even more powerful journey. Over the past 100 days, you've developed a habit, you've developed resistance, resilience, you've developed strength, and things that form the cornerstone of your success. Now, as we close this chapter, I'm excited to share that our next series is on the horizon that's going to build on everything that you've learned so far. In the upcoming series, we want to dive deeper into advanced strategies that harness your newly cultivated strengths, refine your mindset, and elevate your strategic thinking. Imagine transforming daily consistency into an unstoppable force that propels you to tackle even greater challenges with confidence. My vision for the next phase is simple: to empower you not only to sustain your current success, but to channel it into innovative strategies that drive you past these impacts that you've had to more lasting, more fulfilling impacts. We've explored how to leverage your inner strength and channel it into areas of leadership, creativity, and advanced personal growth. And we're going to go further. The habits you form are the foundation on which you can build a life of limitless potential. Every lesson, every win, every setback during the past 100 days has prepared you for what's next. Think of today as a bridge where the consistency and the discipline that you've mastered become a stepping stone towards a future when strategy meets mindset. In the next series, it's designed to help you integrate these principles to every aspect of your life, making your progress both sustainable and exponential. I invite you to stay tuned and actively participate as we embark on this new chapter. Reflect on your journey so far and consider the way that you can take these lessons to the next level. Let's step into the future together. Thank you for being part of this transformative journey. Your growth, resilience, and commitment are what this community needs. Get ready to embrace the next series, where your strengths, strategy, and mindset will propel you to even greater heights. Stay tuned, and I'll see you as we begin this exciting new chapter together.